our story is fairly short, so it won't take too much attention. Earlier on, can you hear that now? No? Can you hear that? No?
Yeah.
How's that? Is that better? Yeah? Okay. This is a story from my country of Wales. As I explained earlier on, the United Kingdom covers 4 countries, Wales being one of them, mine, and it has some interest for, I was asked about the language before Bastain. So what I've done is I've done a printout of the story I'm going to tell you, and at the back I've written our national anthem on the back. You'll have to excuse my handwriting, but I've written it in Welsh so that you can translate it at some stage if you want. Because there is a little story about the anthem itself which may be of interest, and that is how it came about. In the 1800s, there were 2 brothers in Wales, in North Wales, and one of them had emigrated to Canada, and he wrote a letter to his brother asking him if he would emigrate with him to come to Canada. And the letter that the brother wrote in reply is what has since been changed and become the national anthem. And it goes along the lines of Hen Lad and Hadai and An Willie Me. My old country is dear to me. It is the land of bards and poets and songs, and my forefathers have given their life's blood for it. And I thought, since we are talking of stories and bards, that how the anthem come about may be useful to you. So if you ever want to translate that, and I've got one for each country. But the story is about a village in North Wales called Bedd Gelert. This is a village which got its name, it's called the Grave of Gelert. Bedd is grave in Welsh. And it comes from the 13th century when the Prince Llywelyn Mawr, Llywelyn the Great. Llywelyn in Welsh, Llyw is a lion, and it's a lion-hearted type of adversary. Llywelyn the Great married the daughter of the King of England, whose name was Joan, and as a wedding present, he was given a Great Dane, Irish Wolfhound, a great dog, a large dog, a very faithful dog called Gelert. This dog followed Llywelyn everywhere. The tradition in the 13th century would be to go hunting for deer and various things. And at the time, Britain, it doesn't have any more, but now it at that time had wolves which were roaming the countryside, local. And one day, Gelert mysteriously disappeared from the hunt and couldn't be found anywhere. The prince, looking for the dog, returned back to the hunting lodge where his son had been left in a cradle whilst they went hunting. When he returned to the hunting lodge, found the cradle overturned and the dog was lying there by him, covered in blood. The legend goes that the prince, mortified by the fear that his son had been killed by his faithful hound Gelert, killed the dog with his sword, and as the dog died, the cries of the dog woke the baby from under the cradle, and he discovered a dead wolf around the cradle and realised that the dog had actually saved the baby. The village gave the name to Bedd Gelert because it said that the prince never smiled again. And there is a gravestone in the village, and if anyone is on the Welsh tour or the British tour, we'll be able to take them to that village because it's fairly close by, because the tomb of the dog is there, and as I say, the prince is supposedly never smiled again. So what I've done is I've given you a printout in English of that story and a picture of the grave of the dog, and on the back, very rushed, I've written the Welsh National Anthem, which tells of the bards and singers that you can share with.